Shalom, shalom. This is Brother Rama1 from GMS London Forecasters coming to you with another lesson in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Saying Barakatah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Kol Halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the brothers out there doing this work in the name of the Heavenly Father Yahweh and of His Son, our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, the one who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Peace and blessings to the Arkham out there doing this work in the name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So, just want to, read this article. Not all of it, but just enough to get the point across. And then obviously get into some scriptures, man. Because, when you look at the so-called Western civilized world, man, and the way that it's set up, it has all this money that they can put into war and paying, government officials ridiculous wages and all this other stuff that they want to do with the money. But when it comes down to actually looking after the people, man, they don't care. They don't care. I remember seeing a clip of a program a long time ago, and it was this man from one of them countries in West Africa, I believe, and he was walking around in London, and he couldn't believe that there was people on the streets, homeless, because, you walk around, people are working, people are in good jobs, and there's all this business and finance and all this good stuff. So he's thinking, especially the way that these countries portray themselves, why is there people on the streets, man? And in fact, it's getting more and more of an issue in these last days, man. So let me just read this. It says, New York City faces backlash after banning homeless from subways. And, they have setups, man. They'll put spikes on benches in parks. They'll put spikes under bridges. They'll make it very difficult for these people who have nowhere to live to find somewhere to just spend the night. And at the same time, they're not doing anything to help them find somewhere to spend the night. So you can't win. All right? And no one's born homeless. Life hits you, man. All right? This life on this earth, especially under the rulership of Esau, hits you hard, man. Or it can hit you hard. There's been times in my life where I wasn't sure where I was going to lay my head for the night. But luckily, through the grace of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, which I didn't know at the time, I never had to do that. All right. So it says, police will enforce rules around sleeping, aggressive behavior, and unsanitary practices. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has announced a system-wide crackdown on homeless people sheltering in the subway, earning the ire of homeless advocates and others who believe a heavy-handed approach won't solve the problem. Well, of course it won't solve the problem, man. What they're going to do is put their hands in their pockets and help get these people off the streets. But it looks, that's a fairy tale, while Esau's running the show, while the wicked is running the show. That's never going to happen. He doesn't care. He doesn't care now. He didn't care back then. He won't care in the future. In fact, his plan is to put everyone, in the same bracket, man, on the same amount of money, man. We all know about this universal basic income. We all know what his plans are. His plans for world domination. Outright, because he's already doing that at the moment. But outright, man, with very few people left to even, inhabit the earth, man. So he doesn't care about these people in the streets, and he never will. And, the area where I come from, in the south of London, there's a lot more people on the streets than I've ever seen in my lifetime. It So it says, announcing his plans to cleanse the city's subways of the homeless people who use them as a place to sleep, panhandle, or threaten other passengers. During a Friday press conference, Adams declared the system is not meant to be housing, it's meant to be transportation, and we have to return back to that basic philosophy. What about the other basic philosophies, man? About taking care of your fellow man, you know? What about that? Um, Adams says the enforcement, which is expected to start Monday, will not be geared towards maximizing arrests, promising not to put handcuffs on those who commit minor infractions, and pointing out that the city also plans to expand mental and physical health care services for the homeless. Some 27.5 million has been set aside by the state for more psychiatric hospital beds, while 12 million will go towards 500 supportive housing beds. 500 beds is not enough, man. All right, it's not enough. You know, and they want to use these mad cases of homeless people doing, you know, wicked things, you know. But those people, a lot of those people have mental problems in the first place, man. You want to box everyone into the same bracket, man. There's people that have had money that now have nothing. They're on the streets. There's people that have been kicked out of their homes or just lost their jobs or whatever, man. And now they're on the streets. All right. Not every. You can't tar everyone with the same brush. So anyway, let's get some scriptures, you know, because as a you know, there's laws, man. You're supposed to take care, and this is, you know, these are our laws, by the way, right? These are our laws, the laws of Yahweh Shem Yahushua for the children of Israel, right? But you know, in the future, when everything's as it should be, everyone's going to be abiding by our laws, man. All right. You know, you're not supposed to there's not supposed to be people on the streets, man, begging, you know, sleeping rough and all of that, especially in a society where something could be done about it. All right, these governments want to pledge money for this, that, and the other. They're pouring money into teaching, you know, about the alphabet and all of this stuff. That's all important. But when it comes to actually helping people, they don't want to do it. So let me just get the scriptures, man. Enough talk. So I'm going to start here. Proverbs 19 and 17 says, simple. It says, he that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto the Lord, and that which he hath given will he pay him again. So, you know, the Lord is just, man. And if you do good, the Lord does good unto you, man. If you do wrong, the Lord is going to do evil unto you. And these people it's been in power for so long, they don't think that anything bad is coming for them, man. All right? But, you know, they are sadly mistaken, man. This is Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So, you know, when we're in the power seat, which will be, once we are in the power seat, it'll be forever, man. You know, we're going to have to put these nations under subjection, mainly the Edomites. But once we do away with the Edomites, man, you know, these other nations are going to realize what they've been missing out on under the rule of Esau, man. Right? They're going to realize. They're going to see how it's supposed to be done, and they're going to love it. Right? Even though they're going to be under you know, the nation of Israel, under Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they're still going to enjoy existence on this earth. Everyone will have their own place with their own, you know, with their own people. You know, clean air, clean water, all that good stuff that everyone's supposed to be, everyone is entitled to. Right? But notice, I'll read that again. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When has that happened? When has that happened, man? All you're hearing is mourning. You know, people complaining all the time. People, they're working, but they're not earning enough money, or they're working 3 jobs to try and pay the bills. You know, you got mothers out there saying that they can't. Sometimes they don't eat because they have to make sure that their children are fed because they don't have enough money, man. You know, some people struggling to pay their rent. Where you got these millionaires and billionaires having houses all in the richest parts of this country, and they're not even living in them, man. This place is wicked, man. And in fact, let me get the law, man, because there's laws. You know, you're supposed to treat, and these are, like I said, these are our laws, man. All right, these are our laws. Leviticus 19:9 says, and when ye reap the harvest of your land, thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field, neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest. And thou shalt not glean the vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard. Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger. I am the Lord Yahweh, your power. Right? So you're supposed to leave things like back in the ancient days when we would, you know, harvest our crops, man. We would leave some for the poor, man, because there's always going to be people that are poor. Even in the kingdom, man, these other nations aren't going to be living like we're living. All right, they're not going to be. There's always going to be the top and the bottom, and in our kingdom, we're going to be on the top, man. All right. But these, like I said, these are laws for the Israelites, man, because we had our own cities, man. All right, and we were supposed to look after our own people, man, because like I said, there were always levels. All right. But Esau doesn't do that, man. He takes everything. You know, he wants to harvest everything and leave nothing. All right, he's not about leaving anything for the poor, man. All right. I had a thought, but I can't remember what it was now. So like, mate, Lord, when it will come back to me. Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, because you can there's especially in Babylon, man. There's people out there that are trying to feed the needy and the poor, man. And they're trying to help them out, and you know they create laws that you can't feed the poor, that you can't feed the homeless, and they use all sorts of health and safety bullshit laws in order to stop people doing that. It's wicked, man. Who is anyone to tell you can't give someone some food to eat, man, if they're hungry? That's why the scriptures say, man, and I say it all the time, man. Job 9:24. We need to keep pumping into people's minds who the wicked is on this earth, man, because they're showing you all the time, and that's Esau, man. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, these so-called white people, man. I'm talking about the elite of them, the ones that are running this world. Ezekiel 22:29 says, the people of the land have used oppression. So like, let me read that again. The people of the land have used oppression and exercised robbery, and have vexed the poor and needy. Yea, they have oppressed the stranger wrongfully. You know, where's the compassion, man? This man has no compassion. He is totally lacks empathy, man. You know, on a side note, I saw someone talking, and this is just to show the lack of empathy that Esau has. You know, he was commenting on someone's video about them talking about using racial slurs, and he was like, "Oh, Did someone say a bad word, being sarcastic, right? Or a hurty word? That's what you said, a hurty word, right? And the reason why you can say that is because they've never been subjected to that kind of oppression, so they don't know what it feels like, man. All right, and really and truly, they don't have much in the way of feelings, man. All right, not towards anybody else anyway. And bear in mind, their own people are on the streets, man. That's how low Esau is, man. He doesn't even have the empathy for his own people, man. You think while he's trying to establish his new world, his NWO, that he's thinking about his own people? No. The elites of his people aren't thinking that. Where was I? I'll get a couple more, and I'll close. That's not what I want because it's talking about something else. Proverbs. You know, Proverbs 14:31 says, he that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoureth him have mercy on the poor. So, you know, we talk about how people a lot, and how, you know, we have derogatory terms for a lot of our people who are doing wickedness, man. But it doesn't mean that you can always have to be like that. So, you know, you gotta have compassion sometimes. You know, I know the brothers and myself. You know, when the Spirit takes you, man, you see a Jake through the Spirit that is in need, man. You help that person out. You know, you have to show compassion sometimes. You can't always be hard on our people, man. All right. You know, we got to show them a better way, and there's no better way to show them through examples, man. All right. And let me just get this last piece, and I'll close out. Yeah. And this is for this is for the elites, man. This is for these wicked elites that have put this earth in this downward spiral, man. You know, where there's people languishing in the streets, man. Sometimes when it gets, you know, to that terrible winter time where you're chilled to the bone, and maybe it's snowing and stuff, you wonder how these people are surviving out here, man. You gotta wonder. You know, I'm not living in the lap of luxury, man. Or sitting in the lap of luxury, I should say. But that's no disrespect to where I abode, man. Because I thank the Lord for all the blessings that He's given me, man. You know, that I have a roof over my head and somewhere to lay my head in the night. All right. James 5:1, it says, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten." So this is a message to you elites, man. All right. What you have is not going to be eternal for you. All right. You're not going to have this forever, man. And you talk about what you're going to be doing in 2050, 2070, and all this madness, man. You ain't going to last that long. It says, "Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and you shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the labourers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Sabaoth, Salaki. And I'm going to get that word because I'm not quite sure what I'm saying there.
Strong's G 4519. Sabaoth. Sabaoth.
The Lord of the armies of Israel, the Lord of hosts. It says, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Yeah, they've lived in pleasure, man. No worries, man. You know, they do what they want every day. Right? It says, ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Right? Because he can't. He has not the power to resist, man. Alright? But, you know, the Lord is hearing the afflictions, man, and seeing the wickedness that these people are doing. All right. So yeah, they're gonna pay for this, man. You know, we look forward to a world where our people, because really and truly, we don't really care about what the plight of the other nations, man. But our people are caught up in this, man. You know, especially in Babylon, man, aka America. You know, the worst of the ghettos, man. Our people on the streets, man, or in the shelters or under the bridges. You know, hooked on drugs and all of this. You know, we can't catch a break in this world, man. So we need Yahweh Shai to come back and clean this place up, man, and put righteousness back in the world. Anyway, you know, with that, I'm gonna stop talking and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai once more. I pray this was edifying, as always, and I'll say Shalom.